Well, hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 76, first ever Misheard song lyric on heavy metal. And the first one of its kind is on heavy metal band Metallica. The misheard lyric is, "Give me food, give me fries, give me that which I desire." And the correct lyrics is, "Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire." That's my best James Hetfield, sorry. All right. So the misheard song lyric about food and fries, first of all, is making me hungry because I'm doing this during lunchtime. And today the taping of it is during Super Bowl day. So I'll be showing, of course, a couple days later, but just wanted to let you know I am hungry. And this is also a shout out to my friend Jason, who is a big, big Metallica fan. So big that he has traveled all across to see all their concerts, has the t-shirts. So I want to give him a shout out. So let's talk more about Fuel, which is the name of the misheard song lyric that we're talking about. And of course, I mentioned earlier, it's a song by American heavy metal band Metallica. They came to my existence because when I was dating my first husband, I think he still is, I'm not sure, it was a big Metallica fan, as he would say, before they sold out. So the band was formed in 1981 in Los Angeles by vocalist, guitarist James Hetfield and drummer Lars Ulrich, and has been based in the San Francisco area for most of its career. Known for their fast tempos, instrumentals, and I love how it says online, aggressive musicianship, made them one of the founding big four bands of thrash metal alongside Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer. I love these names. They exude that same kind of aggressive, aggressive feel. Okay, so Metallica's current lineup has the founding members still. So at least the two primary songwriters is Hetfield and Ulrich, longtime lead guitarist Kirk Hammett, and bassist Robert Trujillo. Guitarist Dave Mustaine, who went on to form Megadeth, so remember that was one of the other names of the big four bands, after being fired from the band. Ooh, that's interesting. And bassist Ron McGovney, Cliff Burton, who died in a bus accident back in 1986 in Sweden, and the one I knew of, Jason Newsted, are former members of the band. And their fan base grew in the underground music community and won critical acclaim with its first 5 albums. The band's third album, Master of Puppets, 1986, was described as one of the heaviest and most influential thrash metal albums. And that's the album that I came to know, again, through my first husband and boyfriend then. And then in 1991, they had a self-named 5th album called Metallica. And the band went back to their roots in heavy metal, which appealed to a more mainstream audience, achieving substantial commercial success and selling over 16 million copies in the US to date, making it the best-selling album of that, what they call SoundScan era. And I was like, what does that mean? So when I looked up SoundScan, it is also formerly the Nielsen SoundScan or Nielsen Music Products or MRC data, because I remember Nielsen ratings as a kid when you hear about the Nielsen ratings for TV shows. It's a provider of music sales data established by someone by the name of Mike Fine and Mike Shallett, so the Mikes, back in 1991. Data is collected weekly and made available every Sunday for album sales and every Monday for song sales to subscribers, which include record companies, publishing firms, music retailers, independent promoters, film and TV companies, and artist managers. It was the source of sales information for the Billboard music charts. I didn't know that. That's something new. The company operates the analytics platform Music Connect, broadcast data systems, which tracks airplay of music now, and Music 360. So that's what it meant by, at that time, 60 million copies were sold. Okay, after experimenting with some different genres and directions in subsequent releases, the band returned to its thrash metal roots with the release of its 9th album, Death Magnetic, 2008, which drew the same praise that of the band's earlier albums. And the thing that I think interesting about Metallica is, I remember when James Hetfield, the lead singer, had cut his hair. That was big. It's like, oh, he always had his long, crazy ass curly hair and then he cut it. But does anyone remember the name Napster? For some, probably not, because you were not born yet, or maybe you were still a youngin'. But back in 2000, Metallica led a case against what they called the peer-to-peer file sharing service called Napster. So before downloading officially that we know it today, if you had your copy, because I bought the album or I downloaded it, I would share it with you by way of Napster, which a lot of people, especially the artists, weren't happy because they were not getting paid in some of these sharing or swaps of their music. So in which the band and several other artists like Metallica filed lawsuits against Napster for sharing their copyright protected material, which without consent after reaching a settlement. And Napster became a pay-to-use service back in 2003, where Metallica was the subject of the acclaimed 2004 documentary film Metallica, Some Kind of Monster, which documented the troubled production of the band's 8th album, Saint Anger, back in 2003, and the internal struggles within the band at the time. So interesting about the Napster and also them, growing as a band. But I remember seeing Lars on TV at the Senate floor, I think, or going through the Napster lawsuit and talking about he as an artist and others, what they're doing is essentially stealing. Then in 2009, Metallica was actually inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And some interesting things to note, the band actually wrote the screenplay for and starred in a 2013 IMAX concert film called Metallica Through the Never. I didn't know that, but I bet you my friend Jason does, in which the band performed live against a fictional thriller storyline. Interesting. Metallica has released 10 studio albums, 4 live albums, a cover album, 5 extended plays, 37 singles, and 39 music videos. And they also had won 9 Grammy Awards from 23 nominations, so powerhouse. And its last 6 studio albums, beginning with Metallica, have consecutively debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. And they're also ranked as one of the most commercially successful bands of all time, having sold over 125 million albums worldwide as of 2018. They also have been listed as one of the greatest artists of all time by magazines such as Rolling Stone, which ranked them at number 61 on its 100 greatest artists of all time. And as of 2017, Metallica is the 3rd best-selling music artist since Nielsen SoundScan began tracking sales again in 91, selling a total of 58 million albums in the U.S. So there's Metallica. Back to the song at hand, Fuel. Again, it was written by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, and Kirk Hammett, and was released as the 3rd single from their 7th album called Reload. The song was actually nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Hard Rock Performance in 1999, but dang it, they lost to Jimmy Page and Robert Plant for the song Most High. Did not know that. It did achieve moderate successful play on the music charts, peaked at #2 in Australia, #3 in Hungary, all right, #5 in Finland, and #6 on the U.S. Billboard Mainstream Rock Chart. And one of the things that, a big did you know, that I kept seeing and reading throughout the internet when I did some research on this song is Metallica has actually played Fuel in concerts over the years, and including a 1999 live album, S&M, with a gentleman by the name of Michael Carnan, and conducting the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. So Metallica and orchestra, there you go. What about the music video? Have you seen it? If you haven't, look it up. Just look up Fuel Metallica. What it essentially is in a nutshell is fast-paced video clips with strobe lighting close-up of the band, along with American muscle, cars, street racing, burnouts, a lot of burnouts, some cookies, pure adrenaline speed. And I love the pop-up, words that come up here and there. Ends with a crash and more rubber burnout. So much, I swear you could smell it coming through the TV. And it's like a perfect soundtrack to one of my several favorite reality TV shows. It's a little thing you probably don't know about, but I love Discovery Channel's Street Outlaws. And they also do a lot of burnouts and what have you. Or as perfect soundtrack for a local spin class, burning the calories. So it's a pretty aggressive song, and it gets people going. Give me food, give me fries, give me that which I desire. That's how it does it. So what's the song about, other than what we assume it's about by the video with cars, speed, burnout? Lots of meanings. I went on to songmeanings.com and there were several theories about the song. One poster by the name of Necrothon posted back on April 25th, 2002. Wow. 19 years ago now, this April. He says, quote unquote, or she, I don't know, could be she. He uses an engine as a metaphor for addiction to drugs. The body wants more, just like one might want to push an engine more. Interesting, Necrothon. And then I also looked at songfacts.com, and they seem to agree with this Necrothon's theory. Per the online site, it says, quote unquote, this is about people sometimes trying to drive their cars or even their lives too fast. I can understand that. They also mentioned that this song is a fixture at their live shows. They do it a lot. They also said that Avril Lavigne performed this on Metallica's MTV Icon special back in May 2003. Had no idea. I'll have to check that out on Google. And then the track was used as the official theme song for NASCAR on NBC and TNT for the mid-2001 to 2003 seasons. Perfect, right? Perfect soundtrack. And that the song also was featured in a 2016 commercial for Dodge's powerful performance cars. The Miami set ad showed the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, Challenger SRT Hellcat, and Viper GTS racing through the empty city at night while everyone is sleeping. Because of Enter the Sandman. See what I did there? Anyway, a little bit more now what you know about Metallica, who they are, a little bit of song. It's not about food and fries, even though I'm going to get some after this. And to many, it has a different meaning of pushing oneself beyond control. So there you go. Hopefully you learned something new. Again, shout out to my friend Jason N., big Metallica fan. And if you have any great ideas for our next episode, keep them coming, because I've been getting some really good examples in the last 2 or 3 shows that I've done because of samples and examples that you have sent me via Facebook or other Twitter and all that. So please keep listening. Please keep singing those songs wrong and stay safe out there. Bye.